Welcome, history buffs and armor enthusiasts, with deep dive into one of the unsung heroes of the early Second World War today. We're exploring the Panzer Kampfwagen 35T, a tank that, while not German by birth, became a crucial asset in the Blitzkrieg machine. Let's roll back the years and uncover the story of this remarkable Czechoslovakian design, originally known as the LTVZ-35. This light tank was developed by the famed Koda Works in the mid-1930s. At the time, it was a marvel of engineering. Its design philosophy was a blend of innovation and practicality, intended to give the Czechoslovakian army a modern mobile fighting vehicle. Its main armament, a 37mm Koda A7 gun, was more than capable of taking on most contemporary tanks. This was complemented by two 7.92mm machine guns, one coaxial and one in the hull, providing excellent defense against infantry. The armor, though riveted, was up to 25mm thick at its frontal plates. This might seem thin by later war standards, but in the mid-30s, it offered respectable protection against the anti-tank weapons of the day. One of the most advanced features of the Panzer 35T was its pneumatically assisted steering and gear-shifting system. This was a complex but revolutionary concept designed to reduce driver fatigue. Imagine wrestling with heavy levers for hours on end. This system made controlling the 10.5-ton vehicle significantly easier. The suspension was also noteworthy, featuring a combination of leaf springs and bogies that provided a relatively stable ride over rough terrain, which was crucial for maintaining speed and crew comfort during cross-country maneuvers. Powering this machine was a 120-horsepower Koda T11 engine, giving it a respectable top speed of around 34 km per hour. In its era, the LTVZ-35 was a well-balanced package of firepower, mobility, and protection, a testament to the skill of its designers. But history, as it often does, took a sharp turn. In March 1939, Germany occupied Czechoslovakia, and with it, they seized over 200 of these advanced tanks. The German army, still in the process of rapidly expanding its armored forces, recognized the quality of the design. They quickly integrated it into their own ranks, redesignating it the Panzer Kampfwagen 35T, the T standing for Czechish, meaning Czech. These tanks were immediately put to use equipping the 1st Light Division, which would later be reformed into the 6th Panzer Division. For the German crews, getting accustomed to the 35T had its learning curve. The tank was designed for a 3-man crew, but the Germans typically operated it with 4, adding a dedicated loader to improve the main gun's rate of fire. This made the small turret even more cramped. When the war began in September 1939, the Panzer 35T was on the front lines for the invasion of Poland. Its performance was exemplary. It easily outclassed the Polish 7TP and TKS tankettes, its 37mm gun proving more than a match for their thin armor. The 6th Panzer Division, spearheading the attack from East Prussia, relied heavily on the speed and reliability of their Czech-built tanks to execute the sweeping encirclements that defined the Blitzkrieg. The campaign was a resounding success, and the 35T had proven its worth in combat. Its baptism by fire was a testament to the soundness of its original design. Less than a year later, in May 1940, the Panzer 35T was once again at the forefront of the German war machine, this time during the Battle of France. As part of the 6th Panzer Division under General Rommel's Army Group A, these tanks charged through the dense Ardennes forest, a move the Allies thought impossible for a large armored force. They faced off against French tanks like the Renault R35 and the Hotchkiss H35. While the French tanks often had thicker armor, the superior training, radio communication and combined arms tactics of the German crews, coupled with the 35T's reliable gun, often gave them the edge. The speed of the 6th Panzer Division's advance was staggering, contributing significantly to the rapid collapse of the Allied front. The Panzer 35T was again a key player in another stunning victory. However, the very features that made the 35T advanced also became its Achilles heel. The complex pneumatic steering and transmission system, while innovative, proved difficult to maintain in the field, especially under harsh conditions. Spare parts were not always readily available, and specialized knowledge was required for repairs. The riveted construction, once considered adequate, was also becoming a liability. When struck by a powerful shell, the rivets could break off and become dangerous projectiles inside the crew compartment, a phenomenon known as spalling. As the war progressed and anti-tank weaponry became more powerful, this weakness became increasingly apparent. The 35T was starting to show its age. Let's step inside the turret and hull for a moment to understand the crew's experience. It was a tight fit. The commander, who also acted as the gunner, sat on the left side of the turret. He had a 360-degree cupola with 4 episcopes, giving him a good, albeit not perfect, view of the battlefield. He was responsible for spotting targets, aiming and firing the main gun and coaxial machine gun, and commanding the entire tank. To his right was the loader. Down in the hull, the radio operator sat to the right of the driver. He operated the radio set and the hull-mounted machine gun. On the left, the driver controlled the tank using his steering levers and pedals, aided by that complex pneumatic system. Communication inside was typically done through a throat mic intercom system, essential for coordinating actions amidst the deafening roar of the engine and the chaos of battle. It was a cramped, noisy, and often stressful environment. The final major combat role for the Panzer 35T came in June 1941. With the launch of Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union, the 6th Panzer Division, still equipped with these tanks, was part of Army Group North, driving towards Leningrad. Initially, they performed well against the Soviet Union's older light tanks. However, they soon encountered formidable new opponents, the T-34 and the KV-1. Suddenly, the 35T's 37mm gun was tragically outmatched. Its shells simply bounced off the thick, sloped armor of these new Soviet behemoths. The once proud Predator had become the prey. The harsh Russian winter also took a devastating toll. The pneumatic systems, already a maintenance challenge, began to fail in the extreme cold, rendering many tanks immobile by the end of 1941. It was clear that the Panzer 35T was obsolete as a frontline battle tank. The remaining operational vehicles were withdrawn from combat units in early 1942, but this wasn't the end of their story. The reliable chassis was too valuable to discard. Many were converted into artillery tractors, known as the Mercer's Igmittel 35T, used to tow heavy guns. Others were transformed into command vehicles or ammunition carriers. Perhaps the most significant conversion was into the Panzer 35T, more famously known as the Marder III, by mounting a captured Soviet 76.2mm gun or a German Pak-40 onto the chassis. These tank destroyers gave the old platform a new lease on life, providing a much-needed mobile anti-tank capability that served effectively on various fronts for years to come. The Panzer 35T represents a fascinating chapter in tank history, a product of Czechoslovakian ingenuity. It was a world-class design in its time, only to be co-opted and used by the very force it was built to defend against. It played a vital, if brief, role in the stunning early victories of the Wehrmacht, proving its mettle in Poland and France. Yet, the relentless pace of wartime development quickly left it behind. Its story is a powerful reminder of how rapidly technology evolves in conflict and how even the best designs can be rendered obsolete. From a frontline champion to a humble tractor and a potent tank destroyer, the Panzer 35T had a truly remarkable service life. Thank you so much for joining us on this historical journey. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Panzer 35Ti, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel for more content on military history and technology. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.